Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of this read, I'm going to have a whiny dog. Apparently, no, go lay down. You're fine. For the main part of this read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Seriously, I just took him out, so he's fine. He just wants what he wants. Spoiled. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Okay, what do we have for Libra? Besides whiny dogs busting into your reading. I like that. Where are you going with this? Oh, I like that. Where are we going? Oh, where are we going, Libra? I'm excited for you. I don't know. I have Libra in my chart somewhere. I must. But I definitely have an Aries moon. I'm just wondering, where is this going? Yeah, you're headed in a much better direction. This is very interesting how this is starting off. You are definitely turning something around. First thing I'm getting is you're turning something around. You're making something undesirable very desirable. You're changing the whole landscape in some way. Now, this is how this is starting off. You got... I should show this how it's on the table so it makes more sense. You do have the Three of Swords here. Okay, that is there. That's disappointment and heartbreak. True. But you got abundance and fertility right behind it. Is that abundance? Yep, abundance. And fertility. Now these, I like these colors together too. I like green and pink together. I think they're very attractive together. But the reason this all fits is kind of like, this is literally, I don't like this. This is wrong. This is not right. I don't like how it is. I'm very upset with it. Unacceptable. But you're not one to be held down. You're like, that may be how it is today, but this is where I'm going to take it. And you are. You're going to take it in a better direction. You got abundance and fertility. This isn't working. One way or another, I'm changing these circumstances. I'm changing how this is going. I'm going to put this in another direction. In the beginning, I don't want to play this off light because I do get that it's very difficult. You got somebody being very stubborn. That's what I'm getting with the Hermit. It's like when I'm feeling the Hermit energy with what you're coming up against, they're being stubborn, like they're not communicating with you. The Hermit's about introspection, thinking about things themselves, deciding where they want to be, what they want to do. It's all internal. And it's not, I wouldn't say it was a bad card. Usually it's a positive card. In this situation, though, it's what you're dealing with. And like this energy is not letting you get in there. It's not letting you work with them. It's not letting you try to figure out a better way. It's just kind of like, I wouldn't even say it's a block. It's kind of like somebody moving. Like they literally leave town. It's like, it's not like a block you have to get through. It's just kind of like they left. Emotionally, mentally, they're just not there. Which, this is what's making things really difficult with the Devil card. And I know this is a rough start, but you're taking it in a really good place. This is like the power of Libra. I just did the power of Gemini before this, so why not? This is like the strength of Libra, though. When something is really off balance and really not good and really wrong, it's just flat out wrong. It's just flat out wrong. This is where your brain says, "All right, now we need to fix this. Now we need to get the other side balancing in so that this is not this bad anymore. This is not acceptable. We can't do this any longer." And that's where you're coming to. You're like, this other energy might not want to be a part of this. Then I need to change what energy is here, and I need to either bring something in or remove that energy all the way. Like, they don't want to be here, good, bye. And then we'll get something else in here, or add something in that will balance it. So maybe they don't want to talk to me. I'll bring somebody else in that they will talk to, and we'll go from there. It's weird. I know these are very rough cards to start with, but I'm getting like, you're not letting it hold you down. You're very upset, you're very disappointed, but at the same time, you're seeing possibility. And you're like, all right, this means I need to change this. This is where the going gets tough, and then the tough get going, and I am going to get going. There we go. Now when I was shuffling, 3 cards fell out of the deck, face down, and they were Oracle cards, all in the environment. So the next thing coming in, I'm getting, you're not going to see this at first. So you're not going to know this is even happening. What is it? Beauty and divine guidance. I literally feel like a lot of you are going to have a third party. If you're not calling in that third party, a third party might be adding themselves. Now, why that would be happening is a good question. Something is bringing in a third party. I guess it can go a number of different ways. I feel like maybe this person with that hermit energy is talking to somebody else, or this person with the hermit energy, somebody who cares about them, that they will talk to, is figuring out that something's wrong, and they're going towards this person with the hermit energy, trying to help them get through it. I don't see you. You might be calling in this third party, but I'm not feeling for most of you that's how it's working. It just seems to be adding itself in. You may not understand why, especially because it's face down. You may see the after effects of this more than anything else, because I'm getting all of a sudden the situation starts to stabilize. And I don't see you understanding why. There's question marks all around this. The Ace of Pentacles is what comes in next, and you're starting to see the situation stabilize, and you're confused by it, is what I'm getting. At first you are confused by it, is what I'm getting. Kind of like why? Like, what's going on? Things are stabilizing. It's almost like things you've said in the past, they seem to be doing it their way. How do I put this? It's kind of like you're like, all right, this room is a mess. It needs to be cleaned up, and the walls need to be painted. So what they're doing is they're moving everything to the center of the room, and they're painting the walls first, even though they should have taken everything out of the room first. But they're just covering it up and moving it to the center. But you're like, that stuff needs to go either way while you're waiting till after you paint and whatever. That might be part of the confusion. Kind of like, all that stuff needs to come out of that room anyway. Why didn't you just get rid of it first? That way, when you're trying to get it out of the room, you don't accidentally ding a wall that you've already painted. But the thing is, they're doing it. They're deciding they're going to paint the room first. And maybe there was a certain color you said it should be, and they're doing their own color, which you seem to not care. You're just like, it's not an issue. Maybe you wanted slate gray, and they've decided they want like lavender. And you're just like, whatever, close enough, don't care. But you can tell they're purposely doing it their own way, but they're starting to do something that you said, yeah, but I said that a while ago. You are confused, but part of you is kind of like wondering, like, why? Where is this going? Is this just, like, why? You're confused on why. The question marks are all over this. Like, why? You're not against it. I also see you kind of stepping back and going, all right, that's okay. I'll leave them alone. Just as long as they keep doing that, at least until that part's done, I'll leave them alone. Until that room's painted, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to stay away from it. Something positive is happening here. Okay, cool. The next face down card, and the only other one, is Mermaid Magic Seduction. Somebody made the flat out comment or impressed upon them that they need to get along with you better. Really, really strange turnabout, in my opinion. Really strange turnabout. Because literally the Wheel of Fortune is turning right on this. Like, this is not expected at all. You're kind of like, what's the deal? Because you notice they're being more approachable. They'll talk with you more. They've stopped this hermit energy for the most part. There's still things going on in their head. But they're talking with you, they're working with you and making changes. It's like, I feel like somebody came in and told them, that they're going to flat out fail if they don't work with you. If they didn't want to end up like homeless or something like that they needed to work with you. You're able to help them, and they need to respect that. They also made that impression, I feel like they don't have to like you, but they need to respect that you know what you're doing. It might be one of those things, just to be fair. Which I feel like you can deal with that at this point. At this point in the phase, maybe this person doesn't like you all that well, but if they at least respect that you know what you're talking about, there's room to grow at least. When this comes in, see, I think all three air signs are very smart typically. I really do. And I feel like this is where your intelligence is really kind of like helping you out a lot. Because this is your moment to kill him with kindness, and you do. I don't know if that sounds off base, and you can let me know in the comments, but I feel like you're kind of like, I got a lot more I need to do with this person. And I already see how they dig their heels in and how much of a pain in the butt they are when they do that. They just throw everything off, and I hate that. And you know, I want that goal. I need to get there with this person. So you kill them with kindness. You do what you can. It's up to you how far that goes, but I'm getting grace with, what's the other one? Creativity. You got to get this to go a certain place. And you're like, all right, what do I need to do? I got to stay on positive terms. You're not a fool. You know if they're not getting along with you. You know if they don't really like working with you, but at least they're respecting you. So you're trying to make this easy for them. You're just trying to make it easy. Some of you might really catch on that this person doesn't like a lot of attention on them. So you're making it very short and sweet, and you're walking away. Because you're realizing this might be part of the problem. They don't like a lot of attention on them. So if you keep the attention off of them, and you just say, this is what I need, okay, thanks, and you go away, it tends to go in your favor. And you're like, okay, but I like to explain things better. I like to make sure we're on the same page. But okay, I can do that. And I feel like it's kind of like you like people to get the fair recognition. So if this person does something and does it well, you like that to be recognized. But if that makes them uncomfortable and makes things backslide, you're like, that's fine, or whatever. If they don't want it, we don't have to do it. Let's keep going. You're doing really well with this. This is where you're really getting control. See, this might be the thing with Libra too. You know when to wait. And you know when you waited long enough and the moment presents itself, not only do you know to go for it, you know how to go for it. You know, you pay attention very closely to how people work. And you're like, okay, I know how I'd like to handle this, but I also know how this could actually, how I'd like to handle this versus what would actually work. So I gotta do what needs to work at this point. Maybe later I'll try to pull it back to the way I want it to go. But for now, I need it to actually just work. That's all I need. So you're doing this. You're making this happen. This is not going to be without some controversy. But it's not that bad. This is interesting. I feel like you're finding a way to deal with this person, kind of like they need to just vent every now and then. And sometimes the way they vent is uncomfortable. But I feel like you literally are kind of getting used to it. Almost like it's on like a time clock. Like on this day, at this time, I'm going to hear it. But you also notice if you don't let them do that, for example, every Monday at 10 a.m., I know they're going to have a bug up their butt about something. About something. It just seems like it's clockwork. Like every Monday at 10 a.m., here we go. But you know if you kind of skip out on that and you don't let them vent to you, that's when things start to become a problem. That's when they start to get stubborn. That's when they start to become more of an issue. So you're kind of like, all right. So like at 9:30, quarter of 10, you start looking for this person. And you're just like, you know what? Let me just head towards it. Let me show them I'm not afraid of whatever they want to say. They get their moment to vent. And I feel like it's not as bad as you originally think it's going to be. Because it's almost like if you let them do it weekly, because I feel like it's on a time clock. It's something like that. It feels like it's on a time clock to me. Like, I don't know if something is happening at that point in the week or it's setting them off or what. But if you let them vent out to you, it doesn't seem like it's that big a deal. And I feel like all you need to do is hear them out. Because I feel like you're strong enough to realize sometimes they start venting and it has literally nothing to do with you. But when you listen to them and you let them vent out, they seem to get more and more respect for that. This is somebody who just wants somebody to hear their voice. And I think it's clicking, like, oh, that's all they need. Whatever the conversation is, it doesn't really matter. They just need me to hear them. They need to feel like I hear them. Whether things happen or not happen based on what they said, that's a whole other story. But if they feel like you're hearing them, they become very loyal to you. You are not at all expecting this. I'm getting this is kind of like, that's way off in left field. Like, I don't see how that could happen. But literally when you do that, this person, that's respect to this person. That's what they want. That's like you're showing them respect. In their mind, you're showing that you respect them by just hearing them out. That's all you have to do. Even if they use language that you don't care for. Because I feel like some of you, there's some words going around here. This might be a private conversation just because they use words that you don't care for. And you're just kind of like, You have to let these words just pass by. It's not because you want to, it's just kind of like, it's one of those things. Whatever these words are, and I guess that depends on you. It's just one of those things where you're like, this is not appropriate, but whatever. And you might pull this person off to the side and have private conversations for that very reason. Kind of like, I don't really like hearing these words anyway, but I definitely don't want other people getting the idea that they can say these words to me. So I'll tolerate it with this person because I feel like I gotta. But I don't want anybody else getting any ideas. So, but this Nine of Cups and victory with this person. Literally, you are making an ally. Completely not expecting to. Not at all. I feel like you're not at all expecting to make an ally here. The world is coming in on your side. With this person, you're getting an ally that's going to change the course of where you're going. You're going to have a lot easier. Other things are going to go easier. For some reason, this person looks out for you after this, and things are going to go easier for you. Again, you're not expecting that. That one thing is all you have to do. And that changes this whole situation. I feel like I don't know. I'm personally like, really? That's how it's coming through. Now, as this keeps going forward, this person understands what you like and what you don't like. Especially if there's like a language thing here. I don't know. They don't take it for granted that you're listening to them. They very much, the longer it goes, the more they value it. So I feel like they're doing their best to try to respect your values. I'm tempted to say boundaries, but I don't know if that's going to really make sense. They seem to try to respect you more. I think you see this. Over time, you're seeing that they're trying to be more sympathetic to your needs. You know, they may need to have things they need to get off their chest, but the fact that you're listening is enough. They don't need to make it uncomfortable for you. So if they can find a way to make it more to your liking, they're going to do what they can. It's going to ebb and flow. You know how that goes. Sometimes it'll be better than others, but I'm getting like you will literally start to like this person. But I'm getting health with the friendship. Kind of like, I mean, I don't know if you're going to be hanging out with this person all the time. Or like, for example, if this is a work relationship, I don't know if you really be hanging out with this person outside of work. If this is like a family connection, like I don't see you like always hanging out with this person. I don't know. I feel like the healthy here is kind of like the friendship is going in a way that you're satisfied with. You're not held down by it. So how that's defined later is clearly up to you. Whatever you feel is right. But I feel like you're enjoying this person. This person isn't like a thorn in your side anymore. And I feel like you also kind of like, you recognize how much things have improved in this situation and had some exponential improvement you weren't expecting. So you're cool with it. Wisdom, imagination, and the star card is how this is leaving this part of the reading. Where this goes from there is kind of up to you. You're going to know how to work this person. I don't know if that sounds good or bad. Like, you're not doing that in a negative sense, but like when you need something and you need them to do something for you, you know how to go about it to get that. I literally feel this situation is going to be very much in your control the farther it goes. The longer it goes, the more in control this goes for you. But you know the boundaries. You know what this person values. You're not looking to take advantage of anybody, so I don't want that to sound negative because it's not. But when something needs to get done and you need something a little extra, you know how to talk to this person to either get them to help you, or you know how this person has other connections and you know how to get them to work with you to maybe convince somebody else. Because I feel like that's going to be another benefit of this connection. You're going to be able to explain to them what you need and who you need to do it and get them on board with you so that not only can you talk to that person and kind of try to convince that person to help you out, but this person here will also go to bat for you and try to put in a good word for you and make things even easier in that respect. Things get unexpectedly easy. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, you went through a lot to get there, not for nothing. Not for nothing. You went through a lot to get there, but this is very, very well worth it, in my opinion. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.